Alright, welcome back to Cricket for Americans. Nick here, and I am so excited to share my thoughts for the World Cup final. This time around, this year, I get to gloat. Last year, Gabe, he loves Australia cricket, and Australia won the T20 World Cup, rightfully so, and he was loving life. Now it's my turn, so it's really interesting for those of you who are new to Cricket for Americans. Thank you so much for clicking on this video where a couple of American knuckleheads got into cricket years ago, and we absolutely love it. I'm going to be talking about the England versus Pakistan finals match of the T20 World Cup from Australia. Almost said it from England. From Australia. If you like what you see, hit that thumbs up, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well, notification bell, all that kind of stuff. And stick around to hear my thoughts about it. If you're new, when we got into cricket, I started rooting for India and England. Of course, we both root for USA, but those are England, India, bigger cricketing nations. They play a lot more often in the international game, test match, all that stuff. Gabe, my partner here at CFA, he's rooting for Australia and the West Indies. And as we got into cricket, both of us had our teams win an IPL championship. Both of us have had our teams now win a World Cup championship that we're rooting for, and it's just a fantastic thing. It's a fantastic thing that a lot of doubles from this match. England becomes the second nation, there's one double, along with the West Indies, to win two T20 World Cups ever since the very first one from 2007, I believe was the very first one. England, who invented cricket, who invented T20 cricket, they're taking the trophy back home. England, who not too long ago got shellacked, got embarrassed in the Ashes, their test squad in Australia, absolutely just crippling. Bring on a new coach in, Brendan McCullum for the test squad. England brings in a new white ball coach in Matthew Mott, right, to take care of the white ball duties. Matthew Mott, Australian former cricketer, former coach of the women's Australia team, former coach of the women's Australia ODI team that won the World Cup. Now, he's got his second World Cup, another double right there, comes in to England, buy Silverwood, bring in Mott, and this guy delivers this quickly, this soon, delivers a World Cup white ball tournament trophy for the England squad. England's the most recent ODI World Cup winning team, now the most recent T20 World Cup winning team. And things have really changed. They did it in Australia after the embarrassment of a lot of these guys that were on that test squad. The embarrassment of what happened to the Ashes. Now they come back to Australia. They bring the Australian coach in, Matthew Mott, and they win on Australian soil. How more poetic do you need it to be, for crying out loud? Not to mention the man of the series, Sam Curran, who I would not have put in there in every single game. I was kind of surprised he was with the team, to tell you the truth. I know he's young. I know he's an all-rounder. I know he's got a lot of talent. I know you don't want to give up on a guy like that, but I was a little surprised, and he absolutely dominated. He started the World Cup off with 5 wickets, only 10 runs in his 4 overs. 5 wickets, 10 runs. He almost did as good this time, maybe better because it was a World Cup final. 3 wickets, 12 runs is all he gave up. And he absolutely just stomped his foot in the throat of Pakistan in his last 2 overs in the death, along with Chris Jordan. Absolutely phenomenal bowling by them. England kept Pakistan to 138, and that was with Livingstone giving up 16 or 17 in his over, for crying out loud. That was with the greatest on the planet, Chris Wokes, not getting a wicket, for crying out loud. It's absolutely phenomenal what Sam Curran did. Man of the match in the finals, man of the series, man of the World Cup. You can make an argument that Virat Kohli should have been man of the World Cup, but he wasn't there at the final. He's the offensive side, Sam Curran, who is an all-rounder, but he's getting his accolades because of what he did with his bowling. Absolutely phenomenal. You had a match where they could have given up a 165 score, depending on how bad their death bowling was. They gave up 138. They're able to chase it in the 19th over. I'm not sure if they were being conservative, so they didn't lose too many wickets, but they still lost quite a few wickets, regardless whether they're being conservative or not. So it's really, really good. They lost 5 wickets, I should say. Really, really good that they had the game plan they had, because it was just enough. And you didn't really have too many great performances besides Stokesy. Stokesy said in an interview after the game, "It's great being a double champion." Yes, it is. There's another double, for crying out loud. It's all about the doubles in this match. England, things were so bad. They were so much despair. We had videos dedicated to that not too long ago. We're talking about 7, 8, 12 months ago. Look at where they're at right now. You got Bosball doing really good things, and now you got a World Cup trophy. They're defending an ODI. Are you kidding me? Josh Butler is the captain. You got a World Cup, baby. Now you can go talk to Owen Morgan about what that feels like for England, because you did it. You did something that India hasn't been able to do for quite some time with the different captains they've had. So good on you, Josh Butler. Even if you didn't give your highest total today, you were fantastic behind the stumps, and you did a great job. And you captained your team very, very well. The bowling was very, very good. Rashid, very, very strong. He had that wicket maiden over, which is very, very impressive. On the Pakistan side, you had some pretty good performances as well, just not good enough. It was good to see Babar Azam put up a kind of a score, but not this kind of strike rate overall that he wanted, right? You had situations like Shadab Khan, I thought was very, very strong on both sides of the field, but it just wasn't enough, right? We're looking at this Shah Massoud, who I don't know too much about. He put up a pretty decent score. And again, Shadab Khan had the highest strike rate. I've been really, really impressed with this young kid on the batting, but mostly on the bowling side as well. On his bowling side, he got himself a wicket, low economy rate. He also had the lowest economy rate of the Pakistan bowlers. Now, one thing I did not learn, I was going to look it up, but I forgot to. I'm not sure what happened to Shaheen Afridi. I see that he started his third over, but he did not finish it, only one ball in. Did he get injured? That would make the most sense that he got injured. That's a huge blow. That really, really is, because you're talking about a situation where if he goes in there, maybe gets a few more wickets, then you have a different situation. I still think England would have probably won, but it could have been a difference. And, the guy that replaces him, Ahmed, for the rest of that over, gave up 13 runs, so pretty expensive right there. But it's all about England. All about England. They lost one match to Ireland. Now, I'm the only person on the planet, I guess, because I'm a homer, that says there's a chance they could have chased that and still beat Ireland, but they lost to DLS, whatever. Only loss they had on the books, they beat India. They beat Pakistan. They beat New Zealand. They didn't have to play Australia. Sorry, Australia. That still is looming large, not having that match. You could be in there instead of England. And maybe talking about back-to-back, who knows, with all respect to Pakistan, they would have put up a fight either way. You were able to take out teams like Afghanistan, who I still think is a strong up-and-coming team. They just can't produce on that big stage, not just yet, but they still put up a nice, decent fight. But in this match, it was all England all the way for the most part. It was a close match, I get that. They won by 5 wickets. It took them to the 19th over to chase, but they still were able to chase. At one point, they needed 12 runs on 18 balls. You like your chances at that point, especially going into the final 3 overs of any match. The bowlers are a little more tired. The restrictions are gone. You can hit for the fences. You got 5 wickets in hand. You like their chances, and they were able to take it home. 2 World Cups in the T20 circuit, 1 ODI World Cup, and now they want that WTC, that World Test Championship. But let's give it some time. Let's let Bosball cook a little bit. I'm super excited for England. The question is, how do you feel about this World Cup? A lot of people in the comment section have been saying, from all walks of life, been saying, really, really love this World Cup. It's been a lot of fun so far as we're going through it. Are you happy with this result? You know I am, because this is absolutely fantastic. Some good news coming from England. You got Chris Woakesy, who's a World Cup champion. You got Chris Woakesy, who was told can't bowl whatsoever in Australia. He wasn't too strong today, but he's had a more than fair tournament in Australia, so take that. I know it's T20, not Test, but still, take that, all the haters. You had Sam Curran, who rose from the ashes for the most part. The Zimbabwe kid showed up. You got another import in Chris Jordan showing up from the West Indies, who's been with England, his career. I get that. Same with Sam Curran, but still, they were able to show up. And, there's just nothing but good. You got guys like Salt on there, Livingston, who's able to show up in now their World Cup. You got Ben Stokes once again, Josh Butler once again, doing all those things. You didn't need the likes of Bairstow to get this done. You had enough in your lineup. You got a Rashid in there. You got a lot of guys on here. Moeen Ali, for crying out loud. A lot of guys on here that have really stepped up, especially Moeen Ali throughout the entire tournament. and have really worked hard to make sure this happened, and has put them as the top T20 squad of this World Cup of this year. The next World Cup will not be next year if you don't follow cricket too much, even though last year's was. The next will be in 2024, and it'll be hosted by us here in the U.S. and the West Indies, a co-partnership there, geographically super, super close. And so they're going to work together to host that World Cup in 2024 for T20. And the ODI is going to be next year, so that'll be very, very exciting to see how that works out. But with all that being said, let me know what your thoughts are. Hope you enjoyed my thoughts. If you did, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Let us know what else you want us to react to here. And I'm just super excited. I can't wait. It's going to be a great evening of just relaxing and enjoying this World Cup win. I'm sure if you're from England, you're feeling the same way. Thank you so much for watching this. And until next time, go England, baby!